The question of who might one day succeed Kim Jong Un as the supreme leader of North Korea has become one of the most closely watched and mysterious succession debates in the world. North Korea is a country where power is inherited, not elected, and where leadership is wrapped in secrecy, symbolism, and strict control over information. For decades, the Kim family has ruled the country as a de facto dynasty, beginning with Kim Il-sung, followed by his son Kim Jong-il, and now his grandson Kim Jong Un. As Kim Jong Un consolidates his power and reshapes the image of the regime, attention has increasingly turned to two figures who stand closest to him: his younger sister, Kim Yo Jong, and his daughter, Kim Ju-ae. Both women have appeared prominently in state media. Both are portrayed as deeply trusted by the leader, and both are seen by analysts as possible heirs to the most isolated dictatorship in the world. Understanding who they are, what roles they have played, and why they are considered potential successors offers a rare glimpse into the inner workings of the North Korean regime. Kim Yo Jong is widely regarded as the most powerful woman in North Korea, and the most obvious potential successor should Kim Jong Un be unable or unwilling to rule. She was born on September 26, 1987, making her the youngest daughter of Kim Jong-il and Ko Young-hee, one of his favored consorts. Like her brother, Kim Yo Jong grew up largely hidden from public view, protected from scrutiny, and carefully groomed within the elite circles of Pyongyang. What sets her apart from many other members of the Kim family is the depth of her political involvement and the level of trust her brother appears to place in her. Kim Yo Jong and Kim Jong Un are known to have shared a particularly close relationship from an early age. They reportedly studied together in Switzerland under assumed names during the 1990s, a period when Kim Jong-il sent his children abroad to receive a Western-style education while keeping their identities secret. This shared experience is often cited as a key factor in their bond. Living abroad, isolated from their homeland but surrounded by foreign influences, is believed to have strengthened their reliance on one another. When they later returned to North Korea, Kim Jong-un was clearly positioned as the chosen successor, but Kim Yo Jong remained close at his side. When Kim Jong-il's health began to fail in the late 2000s, speculation arose over whether Kim Yo Jong might play a role in the succession. At that time, however, the idea of a female leader in North Korea was widely considered unrealistic. The regime is deeply patriarchal, and the symbolism of the Kim bloodline had always been tied to male leadership. Kim Jong-il ultimately chose Kim Jong-un as his heir, despite his youth and lack of experience. Kim Yo Jong did not challenge this decision, but instead became one of her brother's most loyal and effective allies. After Kim Jong-un assumed power in 2011, Kim Yo Jong's rise was swift and noticeable. She began appearing in state media in official capacities, first in relatively modest roles and later in increasingly senior positions within the Workers' Party of Korea. She served in the party's Propaganda and Agitation Department, a crucial institution responsible for shaping the regime's narrative, controlling information, and cultivating the cult of personality around the leader. This role placed her at the heart of the regime's ideological machinery and demonstrated her importance behind the scenes. Over time, Kim Yo Jong's public profile grew. She was frequently seen accompanying her brother at major state events, military inspections, and diplomatic occasions. One of her most profile appearances came during the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea, where she became the first member of the Kim family to visit the South since the Korean War. As part of North Korea's official delegation, she met with South Korean President Moon Jae-in and delivered a personal message from her brother. This moment marked a turning point in her international visibility and underscored her role as a trusted emissary. Kim Yo Jong has since represented North Korea on several occasions, often acting as her brother's voice. She has issued official statements under her own name, particularly during periods of tension with South Korea and the United States. In these statements, she has demonstrated a sharp, confrontational tone, at times threatening military action or harsh retaliation. Her rhetoric has included warnings to South Korea over joint military exercises with the United States and criticism of Washington's policies toward Pyongyang. These statements are not only for their content, but for the fact that they come from her directly, signaling her authority within the regime. Accounts from defectors and analysts suggest that Kim Yo Jong has a reputation for being disciplined, intelligent, and uncompromising. She is often described as having a strong temper and a cold, calculating demeanor, traits that align closely with the regime's hardline posture. At the same time, she is said to be deeply loyal to her brother and committed to preserving the Kim family's grip on power. Unlike many officials who have risen and fallen under Kim Jong Un's rule, she has remained consistently close to him, surviving purges and shifts in internal politics. In terms of her personal life, very little is known with certainty. Kim Yo Jong is believed to be married to a son of a high-ranking party official. There are unconfirmed reports that she has at least one child, but North Korean state media has never acknowledged this publicly. Her private life remains tightly guarded, reinforcing the image of a figure defined almost entirely by her political role. The reason Kim Yo Jong is increasingly viewed as a possible successor lies in a combination of factors: her bloodline, her experience, her visibility, and her demonstrated authority. She is a direct descendant of Kim Il-sung, deeply embedded in the party apparatus, and already functioning as a decision-maker and spokesperson. In moments when Kim Jong Un has temporarily disappeared from public view, speculation has surged that Kim Yo Jong might be acting on his behalf. While North Korea has never formally suggested that she would replace him, her prominence makes her the most plausible alternative if the regime were forced to choose quickly. The second potential successor, Kim Jong Un's daughter, Kim Ju-ae, represents a very different kind of possibility. She's young, largely unknown, and still in the process of being symbolically introduced to the public. Kim Ju-ae is believed to have been born around 2012 or 2013, though her exact birth date has not been officially confirmed. Her mother is widely believed to be Ri Sol-ju, Kim Jong Un's wife and former singer, who has herself played a visible but carefully controlled role in state appearances. For years, Kim Jong Un's children were kept entirely out of the public eye. This changed dramatically in late 2022, when Kim Ju-ae appeared alongside her father at a missile launch event. North Korean state media referred to her using honorific language that suggested importance, immediately sparking speculation about her status. Since then, she has appeared multiple times with her father at military parades, weapons inspections, and public ceremonies, often dressed elegantly and positioned close to him. What is known about Kim Ju-ae paints a picture of a child growing up in extraordinary luxury. Like other members of the Kim family, she is believed to live in heavily guarded compounds, surrounded by privileges unavailable to ordinary North Koreans. Reports suggest she enjoys horseback riding, swimming, and other leisure activities associated with elite life. Her clothing and demeanor during public appearances are carefully curated, presenting her as calm, confident, and comfortable in the presence of power. North Korean media coverage of Kim Ju-ae has been striking in its tone. She is often described as beloved or respected, language that echoes the early stages of Kim Jong Un's own public introduction before he became leader. Analysts note that the regime appears to be testing public acceptance of a female heir, something previously unthinkable, but now potentially necessary given changing circumstances. By associating Kim Ju-ae with nuclear weapons and military strength, the regime may be attempting to link her image to the core pillars of its legitimacy. Despite this, Kim Ju-ae's youth presents obvious challenges. Even if she is being groomed for a successor, she would not be capable to rule for many years. This raises the possibility of a regency or transitional leadership, perhaps involving Kim Yo Jong or other senior figures, should Kim Jong Un's rule end unexpectedly. Unlike her aunt, Kim Joo-a has no political experience and no independent authority. Her significance lies entirely in symbolisms and long-term planning. In recent years, particularly throughout 2025 and into early 2026, Kim Joo-a's public profile has surged dramatically, shifting the succession narrative in unexpected ways. What began as occasional appearances at missile launches has evolved into a steady stream of high-visibility engagements. In 2025 alone, she made at least 17 documented public appearances, with a notable diversification. While military events still dominated, around 63% of her outings since her 2022 debut, a growing share, over 35% in 2025, involved economic, civilian, and livelihood-related activities, such as factory openings and construction site visits. In September 2025, Kim Joo-ai made her first public international appearance, accompanying her father on a state visit to Beijing for China's Victory Day military parade. Traveling by train and standing alongside Kim Jong Un amid global leaders, including Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, this debut marked a major step in her grooming for elite status, adding diplomatic credentials that few at her age could claim. Then, on New Year's Day 2026, she participated prominently in celebrations in Pyongyang, including a rare affectionate moment captured on state media where she kissed her father on the cheek during a performance at the May Day Stadium. Just days later, Kim Joo-ai joined her parents for her first public visit to the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, the sacred mausoleum housing the remains of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Positioned centrally in photographs between her father and mother Ri Sol-ju, this symbolic act of paying respects to the dynasty's founders sends a powerful message of continuity and legitimacy. Analysts, including those from South Korea's National Intelligence Service and think tanks like the Sejong Institute, interpret these developments as clear signals of preparation. Speculation has intensified that at the anticipated 9th Congress of the Workers' Party of Korea, expected in the first half of 2026, Kim Joo-ai could receive a formal high-level position, potentially as first secretary of the Central Committee, positioning her as the official number 2 and heir apparent. Her youth remains a challenge, but the regime appears to be deliberately broadening her exposure, linking her image not only to military might, but also to economic progress and familial devotion. These recent events have elevated Kim Joo-ai from a symbolic figure to the clear frontrunner in the succession debate, potentially overshadowing even her aunt in the long-term vision for the Kim dynasty. In the end, the question of succession in North Korea remains unanswered. Kim Yo Jong represents continuity through experience, authority, and immediate capability. Kim Joo-ai represents continuity through bloodline and long-term vision. It is possible that neither will ultimately rule, or that both will play roles at different stages. What is clear is that Kim Jong Un is deliberately shaping the narrative around power, loyalty, and family in ways that leave the world guessing. In a system built on secrecy, even the smallest public appearance can carry enormous meaning. Until a clear decision is revealed, the future of North Korea's leadership will remain one of the most closely guarded mysteries on the global stage. So, which of the two do you think has a better chance of succeeding Kim Jong-un, the experienced and tough Kim Yo Jong, or the young Kim Joo-ai who was being groomed for the 4th generation of the dynasty? Leave your opinion in the comments below. I want to know what you think. If you enjoyed this analysis of one of the most mysterious topics in current geopolitics, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next videos. Share it with anyone who likes history and international politics. See you next time.